Okay guys, so it's me, I'm back, and I'm trying another round of whitening. Mainly because these things are clean, but they look gross. I'd use them for cleaning. I used that was from my cast iron pan, and they're just not coming, the stains aren't coming out anymore. I said these are all clean, but the majority of them have like a yellowness to it, and I'm not sure if it's picking up. It looks like pee. It's not, because they're clean, but that's kind of what it reminds me of, is pee stains. And I'm sorry for anybody who's not fond of that word, but that's what they look like to me. So every time I see them, I cringe, whether I've just taken them out of the washer or dryer or not, and it grosses me out. So I'm going to whiten them. And like I said, for the most part, I don't know if it's how well it's showing up in the camera, but for the most part, you can see the very noticeable stains. And I'm going to throw my shirt in there too, but pretty much all of them at this point have some kind of stain on them. They're all clean. These ones I just took out of the last load that I washed because my ingredients came. So, as I had ordered them. Anyway, this is not my recipe. This is from What Good Thing by Jilly. I have used it before to whiten pillows, I think it was. Sorry, I was having a memory blank there. The fibro's kicking my ass today, as far as my memory goes. But it's been a while. It's been at least 2 years, if not 3. I initially did a blog post on this because, like I said, I've used it before and it was wonderful. And I had well water back then, so I don't have well water, at least not that I'm aware of here in the apartment. But they still look grody, they still look grungy, and I want to try to get the cast iron pan stains out of that one if I can. And the yucky, mildewy look, I shouldn't say mildewy, just like, I don't know, I can't describe it, but they look old and, you know, no longer white. So the ingredients are, there's only 4 things besides extremely hot water, or as hot as you can get it. First one is a cup of laundry detergent. I use Foca, so that's what I have here. I have a cup of powdered dishwasher detergent, and I'm using Cascade because that's what I could get. Again, I ordered a lot of this online. 1 cup of bleach, and this is Sorry, got interrupted by a phone call, and then my alarm went off as it's time for Sky to get out of school. So, sorry about that, but it calls for a cup of bleach. Normally, I don't use bleach to clean, but this whitener, it works really good, so it's worth it. So, I got this from Family Dollar. And then the last ingredient is a half a cup of borax. And I know borax has a bad rap. I've never had a problem with it. I've used it for years. I have health problems, yes, but I had health problems long before I started using borax and cleaning. So I'm not going to stress over it because there are so many things in this world that could kill us. We're pretty much dying every day, and there are things that we do and or don't do that could kill us every day. And honestly, there's so many other concerns that I have that I'm not as concerned about using borax. So, but again, I've got a half a cup of that. So it's a cup of the other 3 and a half a cup of that. So now what I'm going to do is fill my washing machine just to cover the item. So my washing machine's a little weird. It doesn't give me like high-low. It gives me auto-sensing or deep water. Deep water, it fills the entire thing. So I'm going to leave it on auto-sensing with an extra rinse, just because I always like to give an extra rinse to make sure I've gotten all of the soap out, especially since I am doing this very concentrated. And again, I've got it on hot. And what you want to do is fill them up so that, again, the hot water just covers whatever it is you're going to put in it. And then you're going to want to let it soak. I'm going to let my washer fill, and then the minute I hear it agitating, I'm going to pause mine, because again, because my lid locks once I'm on there. So my washer's a little weird, but so I will pause it and then let it sit for a while and then run the wash. So longer you can let it sit, the better. Overnight would be best, according to her blog post, which I will try and remember to put a link below. But even an hour or two, I think I did 2 hours when I did the pillows before, but again, you're talking a couple years ago, so I don't remember. I'm going to let it sit for at least a couple of hours. It's only going on 2:30 here, just about 2:30, roughly around that time. So I'm not going to let it sit overnight. My God, that would be way too long. As far as I'm concerned, I would be concerned about it damaging my fabrics, especially bleach. But I'm going to let it sit for at least 2 hours and then run it through a regular load. I may wash it again afterwards. I haven't decided yet. So I'll let you know on that one, and I will update you on that part of it once they are done. So I'm going to get this going now. Nobody wants to wash a washer fill up. It's boring. So I will see you back when they're done. Machine is filling, and I don't know if you can see the steam coming out. I've got really hot water. You can see all that steam, and that's almost where I want it to be. Not every washing machine has a soak feature. Like I said, mine doesn't. You can see the steam on my glittering on my washer. So what I'm going to do, as you can see, when I open the lid, the water stops running. So I'm just going to open my lid and let it sit. I'm going to set a timer on my phone. That way I can keep track of how long it's been soaking, and I'm going to set a timer for probably about 2 hours, and then I will check it from there. But if your water does not get super hot, like I said, you can kind of see the steam coming up out of my washer. When they put in our new hot water tank, we had them turn it up as high as it could go, just because it never seemed to be hot at all before, and now we have to be careful not to scald ourselves. So but if you don't have water that is that hot, you can always boil water in a pot and throw it in, or even do this in a 5-gallon bucket or a cleaning bucket if that's what all you've got, like a mop bucket. Whatever you can do, you just want to make sure the water is as hot as it can get, boiling preferably. Again, my washing machine does that all on its own because our water heater is set that high, so I don't have to worry about that. And all of the rinses on my machine are cold, so that I'm not even paying any attention to at this point in time. I just want to make sure that it's being soaked in hot water as for direction state. So, but again, my washer doesn't have a soak feature. If yours don't, or if you do your laundry at a laundromat, you can use a 5-gallon bucket, wash bucket, you know, anything that will hold whatever item you've got. It's basically, whether it's, don't mind, my laundry room is a disaster right now. Even if it's one of those coffee containers, if you've only got one or two little things that you're doing. But the point is you want something that will hold the article that you're soaking, and you want the liquid to be as concentrated as possible. Now, as mine is filling, it does spin because it is, again, on auto sense. So it is waiting to see if it has gotten to the right height. I think I'm going to let it fill just a little bit more because it hasn't started. Okay, I spoke too soon. Nope, still filling. It's like a guessing game. But anyway, I'm going to let it get a little bit more water in, then I'm going to open my lid and just let it sit for a couple of hours. The animals are not allowed in this room, so I'm not concerned about them trying to get in and drink the water. And my daughter is 11 anyway, so it's not like she would be reaching into the... She's not allowed to use the washing machine, so that's not an issue. And anybody else, I would, you know, my partner, I would warn him first. So, and I will warn him. He's not home right now. So, that being said, I will bring you back after they're done. So, it's been 2 hours. I can still see where there's some discoloration. I had to have a change of plans. Because this baby, after it sat for 10 minutes with the lid open, went ahead and automatically drained on me. So, heads up, if you've got a washer, you might want to check and see if it'll do that on you. So, I had to remake the water up, and I stuck it in one of my cleaning buckets. So, I can still see some discoloration. Like I said, it's been about 2 hours, roughly about 2 hours, because it was in 10 minutes before, and I think I had like 9 minutes left on my 2-hour timer that I had reset. So I'm going to go ahead and wash this now. I'm just going to dump it all into the washer like it is, run it on a rinse and spin, and then I will completely wash it again, just to make sure that I've gotten everything out of it. Like I said, I can still see some discoloration, but I don't want to leave it in for too long. I just want to see kind of how improved it is, I guess, for lack of a better word. So I'm going to dump this in the washer, and I will bring you back once they're done. It's late. I shouldn't say it's super late, but there's still some stains on them. They're not perfect. They're definitely whiter than they were. And some of them, the difference is quite dramatic. You can see the difference in where they were stained and where they weren't, but they honestly do look a heck of a lot better. Probably could use another go round or an overnight soak. I'm not going to worry about that one so much tonight. Well, it did damage my lettering. But you know what? That's alright. It was starting to come off anyway, so I'm not going to stress over it too much. Shirt itself is whiter. Stains are still there, though, so I don't know that it did a whole lot of good. But, yeah. It doesn't look as grungy as it did. It doesn't look as yellowed and old as they did. Like I said, there's still spots, but overall, I'm pleased with it. Pretty big difference. So I think this is probably the one that you can tell the biggest difference. And I didn't find the one that had the stains from my cast iron pot, not pan. I'm not sure which one that was now, actually. I'm sure I'll figure it out though, but like I said, definitely could use an overnight soak or a longer soak, but oh, that's the one right there. You can kind of see. Definitely an improvement. And pretty good one, actually. Pretty pleased. I'll see you in the next video.